Good evening. Welcome to this year's Service Awards. COVID can keep us apart, but not from sharing our employees' longevity service awards. 2015, just 5 years ago, gas prices were $2.43 a gallon. The top song by Mark Ronson and Bruno Mars was Uptown Funk. Interestingly enough, also in 2015, the World Health Organization declared the Ebola pandemic was over. Oaklawn was the first hospital in Michigan to offer new breast screening technology. Let me introduce you to our 5-year recipients. Please congratulate these recipients when you see them. Kate Buckland, Dr. Schnorr, Tim Davis, Melissa Davis, Dr. Quadri, Michelle Mead,
Kelly Brisson,
Andrea Torrey,
Michael Thompson, Steve Maloka,
Dr. Sterrett, Dr. Goins, Braxton Olds, Anthony Rivera, Sarah Finch, Chantel Tebian, Christy Agnew, David Richardson, Darshan Hammondtree, Jessica DeWaters, Teresa Howe, Danielle Leaders, our CNO Teresa Dawson, Tim Weir, Joanne Johnston, Suzanne Kirk, Tammy Bierman, Tiffany Elkins, Rebecca Matthews, Cazetta Thomas, Dr. Govier, Brenda Gettner, Erica Jeffrey, Serena Kiles, Callie Atkinson, Neil Kepler, Sandra McCowan, Alicia Smith, Courtney Tabor, Donna Evans, Ashley Slate, Dr. Bertram, Elizabeth Dillard, Jennifer Reed, Larry Cleveland, Janice Earl, Ashley Janrett, Alice Gumbus, John Green, Shannon Gwynn, Terry Short, Stacy Kilburn, Emily Menard, Suzanne Anderson,
Tony Wertinger,
Andrea Spence, Jacqueline Constantine, Mark Woods, April Bussell, Julie Holly, Caitlin Harrison,
Sam Toohey,
Amanda Bergen. No wonder global poverty fell to its lowest point ever. We hired everyone. Congratulations to all of our 5-year recipients. 10 years ago, the year was 2010. Apple unveiled the first iPad tablet. Gas was only a penny more than that 5 years at $2.35 a gallon. Toy Story 3 was the top movie. And at Oaklawn, OMG was created, enhancing the range of specialties offered. Beetle Lake opened and was expanded upon, and these members joined our family. Christine Alley, Alexis Valentine,
Lisa Morgenzi,
Joe Young, Morgan Albright, Jacob Holliday, Doug Martin,
Katie Sine,
Vicky Madry, Lori Lindsay,
Stephanie Fideli,
Christina Tenney, Meredith Line,
Sandra Howe,
Tansley Gripman, Nicole Garrison, Andrew Darling, Celia Kerr, Pam Russell, Natalie Fulcher. Congratulations to our 10-year recipients. 15 years ago, the year was 2005. Hurricane Katrina hit the Gulf Coast, and gas was $2.30 a gallon for a bit. Star Wars 3, Revenge of the Sith, is the top movie in theaters. And Oaklawn opened the Sleep Center. However, employment definitely was not asleep in 2005. These members joined the Oaklawn family. Kathy Newton, Amanda McVicker, Chris Bailey, Jennifer Dye, Deborah Betts, Patrice Sisler, Shoni Landis, Amanda Rosenberg, Jennifer Strand, Mandy Nelson, Tanya Hancock, Sarah Sherry, Bethany Lothamer, Christine Siebert, Jody Anderson, Angie Eiler, Becky Samra, Mark Miller, Tony Horrobin, Marlena Davis, Mabel Martin. Congratulations to our 15-year recipients. New this year, we are recognizing our 20-year recipients with a little more flair. And also new this year, our senior leaders will share their congratulations with each recipient in their respective areas. So 20 years ago, the year was 2000, the top movie was How the Grinch Stole Christmas, which might explain a lot. Oaklawn built the parking garage, making a lot of friends in Marshall. Sherry, please introduce your recipients.
Nate Burns is the director of the Life Improvement Center and Cardiac and Pulmonary Rehab. Nate had to say about his 20 years of service, what comes to my mind when I think about the time I spent at Oaklawn is the relationships formed with the community members. Through rehab in the gym, I cherish the relationships I have developed with the communities Oaklawn serves. His advice for new employees, embrace the culture and take advantage of the resources available. Barb Crandall, a cook in the dietary department. Barb has a sister, Joanne, who worked in the laboratory for many years. Wayne Allen, the director of the lab at the time, continually tried to steal Barb to become a phlebotomist. Barb was pretty determined not to poke people. Barb's advice to new employees is stand up for yourself. Tommy Ciata is a Plant Ops Tech 2. Tommy spoke about his years of service here and said, while working at Oaklawn, I have developed friendships with the staff. In the ED department, there are some staff members that I joke with. When we see each other, we never call each other by our real names. For 5 to 6 years now, we have made up different names, and I have been Daryl and Harold for a long time now. Daryl's advice to a new employee is, I have worked with 30 plus new hires in my 20 years of service here at Oaklawn. My advice for a new tech is communication in our department is so important between the director, office staff, and the other techs. While it's important in all departments, it is key in our department as we have to make sure the hospital is operating and functioning properly. Deb Loss is a buyer in the materials department. Deb was a clerk in the materials department before she became a buyer. She was hired to take over from a longtime buyer, and the training was minimal. I remember Deb's first weeks as a buyer. You would walk into her office and she had perfectly neat desk covered in sticky notes. All the sticky notes were in very neat rows, and she was ecstatic when she could throw one away. Deb's advice to new employees, listen and learn from others. And materials is a family, and like any family, sometimes you just don't get along, and that's okay.
Yolanda Cobley joined us in May of 2000 as a nurse extern with Med-Surg, and then as a staff nurse, moving from there to surgery, CCU, and for the last 3 years in heart and vascular as a cardiac nurse practitioner. Yolanda recalls a time she was in surgery and an active tornado was by the train tracks in town, and she was thinking ahead, what is the safe place to go? Under the patient? On top of the patient? Thankfully, she did not have to execute the plan. Yolanda advises new employees to try everything once and to find a good mentor. Congratulations, Yolanda.
Matt Lewick, that you have been here for 20 years says it all. Because of your strong work ethic, your contribution to Oaklawn has been significant. Thank you for your leadership and for your mentoring those that you work with. You make this a great place to work. Brandy Randall, I want to express my personal appreciation for your achievement of this milestone. Loyal and dedicated employees like you are the foundation to any successful organization. Thank you for your contribution to our success. Teresa, please let us know about your 20-year employees.
Angie Riddle. She was hired as a nurse aide on Med-Surg in January of 2002. She then completed her RN in 2002 and continued to work on Med-Surg and the Joint Camp. She started cross-training to CCU after 1 year as an RN. In 2005, she became a relief supervisor float nurse, and then in 2017, she took over as the vascular access radiology nurse, where she remains today. Angie is known as an exceptional patient advocate. For example, She currently has a Down syndrome patient, and he frequently must have a radiology procedure. She makes a point of putting on his favorite Motown hits or Michael Jackson to put him at ease. She knows her rap music and loves her dogs Mabel and Malone. Malone, of course, is named after the rapper Post Malone. Shelley Hickok. She's worked as an EMT prior to becoming a nurse back in 1997. She received her LPN in 2000, at which time she came to Oaklawn as an LPN on Med-Surg. She completed her RN in 2001 while continuing to work on Med-Surg. She moved to home care in 2002 as a staff nurse, later becoming a care manager in home care in 2018, and remains in that position today. Her interests are MSU basketball and anything else MSU, softball, both watching and playing, and spending time at the lake with her family and friends. She is an exceptional patient advocate. She is very dedicated to her team and would do anything for her friends and family. Her nephews are her pride and joy, and she babysits them at any opportunity. Her love for her dog Levi is proven by the fact she has a doggy nanny cam that allows her to throw actual treats to the dog at home remotely while she's at work. Crystal Woods started at Oaklawn in 2000 as a nurse aide on Med-Surg. In 2019, she moved to a patient care tech in the surgery department and remains there today. She enjoys all sorts of sports. She's played softball and continues to try to do that. She loves to watch Tigers baseball and spending time with her family. Jessie King. Jessie started at Oaklawn Hospital in the year 2000 in the housekeeping department. And in 2009, she transferred to the pharmacy department as a pharmacy tech, where she remains today. Her interests are playing softball and watching movies. She also spends time with her family and her children.
The year is 1995, 25 years ago, and Windows 95 has launched at the Microsoft campus. And gas was only 72 cents a gallon, which was good for the Batmobile in the top movie, Batman Forever. Oaklawn was rated in the top 100 hospitals in the country. Of course it was. We hired the following people.
Sue Heaton. In 1993, Sue worked as an LPN at the Albion Community Hospital in both the OR and OB. She came to Oaklawn in 1995 to work as an LPN in oncology. In 1998, she transitioned to a scrub tech in the OR as an LPN. She completed her RN in 2005 and transitioned to an RN circulator, of which she continues today. She loves to spend time with her grandkids and relaxing at her cabin up north. Deb Oakley. In 1979, Deb worked as an RN at Albion Community Hospital in Med-Surg, Endoscopy, OR, and PACU. In 1995, Deb started at Oaklawn as a casual staff RN in the OR. In 1996, she became full-time in OR as an RN. She then became the charge nurse coordinator in OR in 2012. Deb is AORN certified and has been since 1979. Her interests are that she loves to spend time with her grandchildren, trail riding up north in the summer, and loves those scratch-off lotto tickets, although she still hasn't won one that I'm aware of. Lisa Hughes started as a clerical assistant in the development department at Oaklawn in 1995. She completed her RN in 2006 and started to work on Med-Surg in the Joint Camp. In 2016, she transitioned to CCU as a staff RN. She then moved to case management in 2019, where she remains today. She received her BSN from Millard College in 2014. She likes to camp with her family and snowmobile and does crafts such as making beautiful greeting cards, which we've all received.
Betsy Carol Christ of the Homer office originally was with Dr. Booth before they joined Oaklawn Medical Group. The physicians gave Betsy a glowing review, and she joined Oaklawn too. Thank you, Betsy.
Lisa Carr, life improvement child care worker. Lisa is also an elementary school teacher in the Harper Creek School District. She tells the story of one of her regular kids in child care said to her, "You're here again? Why are you always here when I'm here?" Lisa said, "Well, I do work here." He looked confused and said, "Oh, I just thought you had nothing better to do than hang out and play games with kids. Advice from Lisa? Whatever you do, do it with a smile on your face and it will make you happy, even if you have to force the smile. Gladys Brown retired recently, and she was a lab phlebotomist for many years. Gladys was our first PM shift phlebotomist. She started out part-time, and the techs on the PM shift were so happy to have her. Gladys was a gifted phlebotomist, and I can't remember a patient she couldn't draw. Many patients would wait for Gladys to come back to the lab to be drawn, or to wait until she was there to get their blood drawn. I remember I had a party at my house for the lab, and I put a list of people to sign up and who would attend, and I had a space for guests next to it. When I looked at the list, Gladys wrote that she would like her guest to be Denzel Washington. Advice? Gladys once told me her dad was a school bus driver who worked 2 jobs most of his life. He liked to keep busy. Gladys followed in his footsteps, and her belief was to work hard and do the best you can every day. Gladys and Lisa, thank you for your 25 years of service at Oaklawn.
Congratulations to our 25-year awardees. 30 years ago, it was 1990, and the Hubble telescope was placed in orbit. Gas was a mere 60 cents a gallon. And the top show where everyone knew your name was Cheers. At Oaklawn, we opened the inpatient psych unit. We had a $5 million project that gained 35,000 square feet to help the ED, outpatient surgery, PT, lab, RAD, med-surg, and others. Summer, who joined us in 1990?
Lynn Van Geysen-Culver, a therapist at Bear Creek, started with us in January 1990. And the things she has seen, I'm sure there are many. Lynn is a veteran of the U.S. Air Force. Thank you for your service, Lynn. Lynn uses a trained therapy dog to address PTSD and anxiety in her treatments. She specializes in grief and loss. We are lucky to have her services during this pandemic. Lynn says the Bear Creek team are competitive, and this shows every year at that Christmas party. The white elephant presents have a tendency to show up year after year. These adults can look like 2-year-olds when it's time to pick the present. Lynn advises new employees to build real friendships, reach out, and get to know each other. Thanks, Lynn, and congratulations. Cynthia Wagner of Bear Creek, also a therapist and also with us for 30 years, shared that funny times occur around the end of the year holiday party. Maybe we need to peek in next year. It sounds like they have a lot of fun. Cindy's advice is to play the long game. There will be some things you don't agree with, some decisions you don't like, but stick with it and it will work out in the end. Thank you, Cynthia, and congratulations on 30 years of service.
Tracy Hathaway. Tracy worked as an RN in 1988 in Battle Creek on the surgical floor, eventually moving to the OB area. Tracy joined Oaklawn in 1989 in the birth center and remains there today as the charge nurse. Tracy completed her BSN in 2013 from Spring Arbor University. She loves to race and raise horses with her husband. Teresa Liscombe. Before coming to Oaklawn, Teresa worked in Texas as a respiratory aide, an LPN, and an RN from 1980 to 1989. Her areas of specialty were float nursing and the emergency department. In 1990, Teresa was hired at Oaklawn as an ED and ICU staff nurse. She currently is in the role of the charge nurse in the emergency department and teaches triage classes to the team. Her interests include redecorating homes, painting, camping, and spending time with her family.
Deb Hankinson, food service worker in the dietary department. Fun times for Deb at Oaklawn were when they do special celebrations like the Christmas week celebration and other special days in the dietary department. Advice to new employees from Deb: be strong and don't let anybody stand in your way of what you want. Thank you, Deb, for your 30 years of service at Oaklawn.
Congratulations on 30 years of service. Wow, 35 years ago, in 1985, the first mandatory seatbelt law went into effect in New York. Gas was only 85 cents a gallon, and Back to the Future was the top movie. Oaklawn moved the Dean House from 108th North Madison Street to 219 Forest Street, and Teresa, Who joined us from your area?
Judy Dice. Judy started at Oaklawn in 1985 as an RN in the CCU. In 1993, she transferred to inpatient psych as an RN. In 2001, she became a full-time supervisor on the night shift, where she remains today. Judy completed her diploma RN from the Bronson School of Nursing. Judy loves to travel and is known for her organizational skills at helping others with travel plans. She likes to experiment with new coffee flavors and enjoys a good cup now and then. Andy, now if you would please tell us about your 35-year employee.
Cindy Clifton started working at Oaklawn Hospital in 1985 as a radiology transcriptionist. Over the years, Cindy has taken on many other responsibilities, including positions in human resources, marketing and development, nursing, and finally in finance in 2004. She has been very committed to living Oaklawn's values and vision each day. She consistently provides Oaklawn's internal and external contacts with excellent customer service, and she keeps me on track. And today, we recognize her for 35 years of service. Thank you so much, Cindy.
Congratulations to those 35-year awardees. This is incredible that we're sharing 40-year stories. In 1980, Rubik's Cube was released along with Pac-Man. It would be fun to see how many of you are Googling what these are. If only we could see you. Here, we opened CCU and physicians started staffing the ED on weekends. Andy, I bet your employee has some stories to tell about all of that.
Deborah Bowers has provided 40 years of distinguished service to Oaklawn Hospital in finance. She has provided outstanding work in all the positions she has held at Oaklawn Hospital. She began as a billing clerk and only after a short time became the assistant to the controller, then moved on to the assistant director of finance. For the last 17 years, Deborah has led the Patient Financial Services Department as director. Deborah has led the department through many changes and software implementations and has always provided excellent leadership and direction. Her dedication to Oaklawn Hospital has been remarkable, and for this we are thankful. Deborah, we acknowledge your commitment and service with this 40 Years Service Award.
Congratulations, Deborah, on 40 years of service. For our last service award of 45 years, when minimum wage was $2.10 and gas was 39 cents a gallon, Oaklawn had been open for 50 years, and this year they opened the Wright Medical Building. Everyone, please stand, even in your living rooms, for our 45-year recipient that started here in 1975. Sherry, please introduce us to this employee.
Mary Laws, housekeeping. I reached out to Mary's previous director, Jeanette Glenn, and what she said about Mary was she was in the plant operations department long before I became secretary to Joe Klein. She reported to Lil Gratian at the time. When Lil retired, I became the housekeeping manager. It didn't take me long to discover who really was in charge of housekeeping. Yep, Mary. She taught me who would work well in what areas, who would work what shifts, etc. Then I had to get a backbone and explain to Mary I was a housekeeping manager. I think it took Mary about 25 years out of my 31 years to realize that. All kidding aside, Mary is a great asset to Oaklawn. If we got snowed in, you could always count on Mary getting to work and making sure patients had linen they needed, as well as ensuring their rooms were clean. Mary has always had an opinion, but it was in the best interests of the housekeeping department. Better pay, better insurance, more benefits. She didn't always win, but through me, she felt her voice was heard. When we were building out the 3rd and 4th floor addition, as well as the surgery unit, Mary played a big part in providing input to where the supplies should be kept, not only linens, but janitors' closets. Mary will deny this, but after 45 years, she has no idea what she has contributed to Oaklawn. Yes, she has an attitude and opinions, good ones, but they always been in the best interests of the patients in which she serves. Mary has never been shy in sharing those opinions, but 90% to 100% of the time she was spot on. Happy 45 years at Oaklawn, Mary. Remember what I've told you, retirement is a great job. Mary had a story to share also. One of the areas Mary used to clean was the surgery lounge before the addition was added on. She had 3 visitors in this area, one mouse who would sit up on the window ledge outside, a frog that ended up a casualty since she didn't see it until she closed the window, and a raccoon that fell in the window well and had to be rescued. Advice from Mary, take your job seriously. Do your best, but enjoy it. This is a hospital. It's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You will have to work weekends and holidays. Thank you, Mary, for your 45 years of service at Oaklawn.
We have 2 final awards to share this evening, and those are Employee of the Year and Physician of the Year. The Employee of the Year will receive a dozen roses, an engraved plaque, an Employee of the Year gold pin, and $500. But maybe the highest sought-out award is a designated parking spot in either the garage or by the building if they are working off campus. The purpose of this award is not only to acknowledge an employee that exemplifies the culture and values of Oaklawn, but also to honor an individual that is inspiring to the members of their profession and dedicated to the needs of our patients. 2020's Employee of the Year nominees are
Adrian Solis Sherman,
Amanda McVicker, Anita Darling, Celia Kerr, Charity Gary, Chris Condon, Chris Nicolai, Danielle Mack, Jess Kingston, Jill Murphy, Karen Handsome, Christy Kamar, Marina Wiggins, Marla Stuck, Michael Thompson, Michelle Mead, McKellan Wells, Mamasa Patel, Melinda White, Ron Odell, Rosie Harvey, Sana Al-Shamari, Sandy Winchell, Stacy Lewis, Susan Tamer, Teresa Fields, Tim Davis, Trina Fisher, Wendy Davis. Wow. I would now like to speak to our Employee of the Year. You have gone above and beyond. It's a daily habit of yours. Your contributions to Oaklawn are admired, respected, and appreciated by all who work with you and around you. Your drive and encouragement for everyone working together to do what is best for the patient each and every time is admirable. You are described as inspirational, caring, committed, and a true leader. And it was shared you never have a bad day. When your colleagues know you are working, they immediately feel a sense of comfort knowing you are here and everything will be all right. Your dedication and ability to take such great care of our patients and colleagues is a true Employee of the Year characteristics. It is with great honor that I present to you Ms. Christine Condon, Oaklawn's 2020 Employee of the Year. Congratulations, Chris. This is well deserved. And Chris, you have a parking spot. It's number 3 on the second floor of the parking garage, across from the elevator. The 2019 Employee of the Year was evicted today. We will conclude our 2020 awards with our Physician of the Year award. The Physician of the Year receives a dozen roses, an engraved plaque, a reserved parking space as well, and the Physician of the Year will name a charity of their choice to receive $500 in their honor. The Physician of the Year nominees are Dr. Gates, Dr. Liston, Dr. Schubert, Dr. Irvishaw, Dr. Chahuri, Dr. Ebner, Dr. Bertram.
Dr. McLean.
Dr. Goins. Greg, please announce our 2020 Physician of the Year.
Tonight, I am pleased to announce Oaklawn's 2020 recipient of the Physician of the Year Award. Many impressive nominations were submitted this year, making the selection quite challenging. The purpose of this award is to not only acknowledge a physician that exemplifies the culture and values of Oaklawn, but to also honor an individual that is inspiring to members of their profession and dedicated to the needs of their patients. This year's winner received several nominations from a variety of departments throughout the hospital. Here are some of the comments. This physician is always approachable, kind, and will always return any calls and answer any questions. Always has a smile, is positive. When this physician works, there is a tangible difference in the atmosphere. This physician provides excellent care. Their patients love them. They do not rush through seeing their patients, but instead they give them the attention and thoroughness needed. This physician always has a can-do attitude and always looks out for what the best interest of the patient is. They truly care about their patients and all they come into contact with. They always give consistent quality care, is supportive of the staff, and show respect. This physician is very accessible and has a very good bedside manner with their patients. Time and again, I hear from patients, this doctor will actually sit down and take the time to listen to what I have to say. They really care about what is going on with me medically. Teamwork is where the physician excels. They are a role model for other physicians. This physician is willing to stand up for what is right. They advocate for their patients by interacting with other specialties. They are willing to help with educational pieces and provide physician insight. They do not view themselves above anyone else. They always take the high road and are exceptionally reliable. They are willing to take others' opinions into consideration and willing to discuss. This physician personally helps the unit to be safer because they are approachable. It is more enjoyable to work because they have a ready smile and willingness to listen. They bring a more calming presence because staff feel supported and safe to ask questions. It is always a pleasure to work alongside this physician in our profession. This physician works so hard, and I've never heard them complain. They are always positive. It's so good to be around them, and they feel their positive influence in the hospital. Oaklawn is lucky to have this physician. This physician attended Virginia College of Osteopathic Medicine, where they obtained their medical degree. They completed clinical clerkships in teaching hospitals associated with University of Virginia, Maine Medical Center, and Lehigh University. They completed residency in internal medicine in Kalamazoo at Western Michigan School of Medicine in 2015. Before coming to Oaklawn, they worked at Borges Hospital in Kalamazoo as an inpatient hospitalist from 2015 through 2017. They are board certified in internal medicine by the American Board of Internal Medicine and a member of the American College of Physicians and the Society of Hospital Medicine. This physician is currently one of our hospitalists with Apogee and has been an integral part of the Oaklawn family since 2017. As a physician and obviously respected and admired by his colleagues, his patients, and greater community, it is with great pleasure that I present the 2020 Oaklawn Physician of the Year to Dr. Timothy Schubert. Congratulations, Dr. Schubert.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. Stay safe and healthy. Good night.
Thank you, everyone. Stay safe and healthy. Good evening.